Medial compartment is also called adductor compartment, right? The nerve of the medial compartment is the obturator nerve. So any muscles which are present in the medial compartment will be supplied by the obturator nerve, right? So now there is a first let me show it here. One is the adductor longus muscle. You can see the adductor longus. Deep to that is the adductor brevis. You can see this part, that is the adductor brevis. And still deep, which is very bulky muscle, this is the adductor magnus muscle. And another muscle is present here. This is the gracilis muscle. So like this, in the medial compartment, you are going to see adductor longus, brevis, and magnus. Okay, gracilis, another muscle. So in some books you may see this pectineus as part of the medial compartment. It is because it is supplied by partly obturator nerve, partly femoral nerve. So, but stick on to the floor of the femoral triangle. Okay. So structures present in the medial compartment, you are going to see the gracilis muscle, and here you see that muscle, that is the adductor longus, adductor brevis, and this is the adductor magnus muscle. Here also I will try to show this muscles here. See here, this is the adductor longus muscle, and clearly you can see the adductor brevis muscle here, and still deeper, this muscle is the adductor magnus muscle. Right? So all these three muscles are supplied by the obturator nerve. It is supplied by the obturator. The name itself brings adduction of the hip joint. Now, very important also to see the posterior compartment muscles, that is the flexor compartment of the thigh. Now, the muscles which are present in the posterior compartment, they are called hamstring muscles. Right? Now, if you want to call any muscle as an hamstring muscle, it has certain characteristic features. Now, if you see the bone on the, you can see this bone here, this bone on which you are all sitting, that is the ischial tuberosity, that is a part of the hip bone. Okay, that is the ischial tuberosity. What you are seeing here is the ischial tuberosity. All these hamstring muscles take origin from the ischial tuberosity. Okay, they are inserted either to the tibia or fibula, one of the bones of the leg. Now the action of the hamstring muscle is to bring the flexion of the knee joint, extension of the hip joint. Flexion of the knee joint and extension of the hip joint, right? And they are all supplied by tibial part of the sciatic nerve. So any muscle, if it fulfills this four characteristic feature, then you can group it as hamstring muscle. I repeat, arises from ischial tuberosity, inserted to either to the tibia or fibula, supplied by the tibial part of the sciatic nerve, and it brings flexion of the knee joint, extension of the hip joint. Right? So hamstring muscles includes the biceps, and wherever you see the word biceps, it has to have short head and long head, but only the long head is an hamstring part because it fulfills all the characteristic features of the hamstring muscle. Short head is not taking origin from the ischial tuberosity. It is not supplied by the tibial part of the sciatic nerve, so we do not include as an hamstring muscle. Right? Why we don't call short head of biceps as a hamstring muscle? It is not supplied by the tibial nerve. It is supplied by the common peroneal nerve. Right? And it is taking origin from the posterior surface of the femur, not from the ischial tuberosity. So long head of biceps, you can see the long head of biceps. I will come back to this one. See here in this specimen, this is the biceps muscle. Right? Now, this is what I am holding, is the long head of biceps, and this is the short head of biceps. So when you see the lateral side, this is the biceps where the long and short head are fused together and coming on the lateral side of the fibula, right? Then this is the semitendinosus muscle and semimembranosus muscle. Semitendinosus, semimembranosus, and there is a small part of the muscle called ischial part of adductor magnus. So hamstring muscles are 4 in number: biceps longus, semitendinosus, semimembranosus, and ischial part of adductor magnus. Ischial part of adductor magnus. So you know the action, you know the nerve supply, and you know where it is taking origin, right? All these are the hamstring muscles, and you definitely have to identify on the back of the thigh. This is the sciatic nerve, the thickest nerve in the body. That is the sciatic nerve, and as you trace it down from its origin, it is dividing into 2 terminal branches. This is the common peroneal nerve and the tibial nerve, right? So common peroneal nerve and the tibial nerve. You have studied the brachial plexus. You have come across the word. What condition leads to the damage to the radial nerve?
Wrist drop. Wrist drop.
Wrist drop. Here also, common peroneal nerve is very superficial here. If there is any damage to the common peroneal nerve, that results in foot drop. Okay? Foot drop.
It will result in foot drop. Any damage.
So what you can do is try to identify these muscles now. We are left with the gluteal region and gluteal region. Once you finish, you can stay with the other group for some more time so that you will see the gluteal region also, right? Just identify the rest of the muscles will come.